Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pot of Play here on Boss Rush Games. I am your host of this episode, Mr. Eddie V, and joining me, our special guest, the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going?
Hi. Yes, everybody, we are playing Resident Evil 2 Remake. That's available, I believe, is on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The version that we are playing on is the Xbox One version. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. We're going to be talking about Resident Evil, probably the series, some of the games, what we like, what we dislike, where we was at, and we'll probably touch on Resident Evil 3, the new sequel that's coming out in April. So I'm going to start the game, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to play as Leon S. Kennedy, uh, and I'm going to do assisted, because I beat the original one on N64. Uh, but
hmm
to start all of this off, just a little history lesson, everybody. Resident Evil, known in Japan as Biohazard, is a Japanese horror media franchise created by Shinji Mikami and Sakura Fujiwara, and owned by the video game company Capcom. The franchise focuses on a series of survival horror games. It includes live action films, animated films, comic books, novels, audio dramas, and merchandise. The story follows outbreaks of zombies and other monsters created mainly by the Umbrella Corporation. The first video game, Resident Evil, was released in 1996. The franchise has grown to encompass numerous sequels of various genres, incorporating elements of action, exploration, and puzzle solving, and storylines inspired by horror and action films. Resident Evil has been credited with popularizing survival horror games, as well as repopularizing zombies in mainstream popular culture from the late 1990s onwards, along with The House of the Dead. Leading to a renewed interest in zombie films during the 2000s, Resident Evil is Capcom's best-selling video game franchise with over 95 million sold worldwide by 2019. The Resident Evil films are also the highest grossing film series based on video.
All right.
Yes. So, as everybody can see, this is running on the Resident Evil 7 engine, and it has a Devil May Cry look to it. Devil May Cry 5 look to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had started this new engine right when they started the new game, right? The Devil
Uh,
May Cry.
Resident Evil 7. Yeah.
Yeah, which Resident Evil 7, like if you listen to the show, like I'm not really too much of a fan of like from four, through six.
Mhm.
But I did for whatever reason. I think just because it was first person, like I liked seven though quite a bit.
Yeah, well, 7. Yeah, 7 was them started doing the games on their own new engine. Cause I don't know what 4 to 6. It may have been Unreal. They may have used someone else's engine. Uh,
No one's around.
but when they did 7, they were just like, "This is universal for our company that we could get some stuff out with it." Now, I think it's only for like more powerful systems. None of the games, this like engine is not running on Switch at this time. Um,
Yeah,
so, but I kind of want to start. Where were you at when Resident Evil came out? Like
like um, just like in general, like when it first,
when the first game
um,
came out?
uh, gosh, I don't know. I just remember. Let's see. I would have had I was what like a teenager, and I did have a PlayStation 1, and and like like the first, like I've always been into horror movies and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So like when the first one came out, I was like, yeah, I've got
Hello?
to get this, and
Anybody
then
there?
like played it and like just automatically fell in love with the first game. Like it was just so much fun, and like
Something's not right.
nothing had really, like, I mean, there were other games that had kind of did that style during that time, but like the other ones, a lot of the time they were kind of felt a little off.
Uh-huh.
But like they kind of got got everything feeling good for the time.
Don't move.
Like, now, like some of the camera issues or whatever that people had with it during then, it was whatever. But I mean, I found that I got used to the camera stuff really quickly, and after a while, it really didn't bother me at all. But I think if you try going back, it would probably be an issue. But yeah, I've played the first one, in quite a few different ways. Like on the PlayStation, and then I eventually got it for the DS, um, that version, and played the first one on there. And what was cool about that is they kind of updated, I think, the graphics a little bit, just a touch or something like that. But they also had like the whole you could use the knife, you use the knife in the game, but you would swipe your stylus to do a knifing action
Yeah.
on the DS version. So that was kind of cool that they kind of had their own little, not really gimmick, but their own little way of doing things because it had that stylus touch pad. So, but yeah, I just remember like when I first played it, like I just sitting in my room with all the lights off. I always had to play it with all the lights off to just like really be immersed into the game. So yeah, I'd usually like, because I remember the first time that I played the second one,
Yeah.
the original second one. I was playing it in my living room because I think my parents were gone for the
What are you doing?
weekend or something like that, and so I kind of had the house to myself. And I at the time I had this really big speaker surround sound kind of setup thing.
Uh-huh.
I think it was an Iowa like sound system or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like put it on full blast surround sound, and I was playing it, and I just remember like the part where the dude goes breaking through the wall or whatever when you're running down a hallway.
Uh-huh.
Like I had the sound all the way up, and it scared the ass out of me. I was not expecting it. Just like, yeah, like ever since the first and definitely the second one, when I was really like, okay, this franchise is amazing. And like I feel like they've always did a good job of telling the story.
Thank me later.
But what I really like about this new one, the remake, is they kind of did more of telling the story through the gameplay versus just making you find stuff that you have to read. Like you still kind of have that in this game, whether you can look up things that you read or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like mostly it's just like things that you have to read to figure out either like a code or figure out something to let you know how to solve a puzzle later.
What's going on?
I don't know. Hopefully
Whereas in the original one, most of the story was told through the stuff that you would pick up. and I feel like they did a better job of like really including the most important parts of the stories through the actual gameplay in this
Good thing we
one.
found each other.
Well, before we get more into this one, I know with me, I actually bought Resident Evil at Montgomery Wards. I had a job at Six Flags Great America, and I think I was old enough to purchase M-rated games. So it might have been in '97 that I bought this game.
Okay.
Uh, because I don't remember seeing anything about Resident Evil. I I knew of it by looking at the box art and just saying, "Oh, this is a PlayStation game from Capcom. This looks cool. Let me get it." And so,
Hmm.
uh, I paid, got it. It came home and remember putting it in. It was just like seeing this cutscene and seeing like uh just seeing everything just like wow, like I had the original and it was in the cardboard box. And I played it like for like a whole month. I about played it because it was like my first time. I never played survival horror games, but it was just like, this was something different. This was something new and everything.
Yeah.
So when Resident Evil 2 came out, uh, I played it like I said on the N64, and I beat it there. Uh,
Yeah.
and I kind of been with the whole series. The only ones that I haven't beaten is something like the
The
Game
station's
Boy
not
and
much
like the
farther.
side games.
You'll know something.
But like from 1 to 7, I haven't beaten 6
No, they're
because I never
survivors.
played it. And 7,
Big
I'm
city.
still working my way through. I'm almost done with 7. And then Resident Evil
Oh,
2,
okay.
this one, the remake, I haven't beat it yet. But like
Oh,
from
okay.
1 through 5, I beat it. And Code Veronica is the only ones I haven't beaten.
Okay.
But I feel like Code Veronica is like one of those side games in a
Looks like we're
sense.
walking from here.
Yeah. I mean, it tells more of this story or whatever,
Uh,
but
More like running.
to me
Yeah, good call.
I always thought Code Veronica was pretty good. I know a lot of people didn't really care for that one that much. I feel like a lot of people didn't really care for the whole dynamic of having to switch between two characters
uh-huh.
and at the same time.
Holy shit.
Like
There, get out.
I didn't mind, but at the same time, I don't mind the
Hold on!
like having like this one. Like I like that you have the two different gameplays as a different character
Uh-huh.
versus the splitting between two characters. But I didn't at the same time I didn't really mind it though either. So
Yeah, they decided to do something different with this. Uh, I think because more of the success of the fourth game over the first three games,
Claire! Claire,
uh,
you okay?
Resident Evil as a series became even more
I'm alright.
known for that.
How about you?
Uh,
yeah,
because it was a new
Can't stay here,
way
it's
to
not safe.
play
Go on
uh,
ahead. I'll meet you
the
at the
survival
station.
horror game.
I'll be
Uh,
there. This is out of control.
yeah,
so it was just like something completely different. Sorry, everybody, I was.
yeah. They like like I said, yeah. It's kind of like that was the thing. It's like there were survival horror type kind of games
Uh,
at the time. This wasn't the only game, but at the same time, it was like this was the one that really, really felt good, and felt like they did a good job of telling the story,
yeah,
and really, really making it very, like, very, very suspenseful, because a lot of like the
There it is. The station.
what is it The one I recently bought for Dreamcast. Blanking on the name now.
Resident Evil 3 or Nemesis?
No, no,
Nemesis is 3. Uh,
the in the darker. Wait,
Alone in the Dark.
yeah, Alone in the Dark. Yeah, like that one. That game is okay, but it's not as good. Not as good as Resident Evil.
Some people believe Alone in the Dark is the actual one that started like this series,
Yeah,
in a sense. And you know,
Hello?
at the time
Is anybody
we
here?
had Resident Evil, but we also had Silent Hill. You know, Silent
yeah,
Hill became a really big factor in the survival horror games, and then you just started seeing different kind of games come out from Tecmo, like Deception and uh, the Ghost one with the camera. And then Dreamcast started having their own, and even if you look at Xbox, you know you had a game like Cold Fear, um, and games like that of that nature. So survival horror throughout the years started changing, but as more games was coming out, the style of it and the feel of it started getting kind of stale and boring with some people. Uh,
yeah.
you know, so it wasn't like I'm going to save this one. It wasn't like it went away like drastically, but it had to evolve, and the only series that kind of made it evolve in a sense is Resident Evil. Now, I will say Silent Hill has tried many different things to keep it fresh, and really kind of bring a different perspective to it, but it never happened. It kind
Yeah,
of just ended up dying, you know, with PT and everything. And it was kind of just it was just kind of weird to see how like survival horror has kind of faded out. But you know, now we have games like Outlast and other indie games who are trying
yeah,
to like bring bring it back in a sense.
yeah, yeah. There, yeah. You have, yeah, like you said, like it was like kind of Silent Hill and Resident Evil during like the PS1 and PS2 days
Yes.
were really the only two that were really standing out, a lot, and had a big following. And then yeah, then like more into the closer to the 360 era, you started getting some good, competition
Yes.
in the survival horror stuff, like a game that I always talk about all the time is Condemned. Like Condemned was a
Yeah.
really good survival kind of horror game.
Yeah, and
And
that was a really good one. Uh, I kind of want to know for you, like personally, why did Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, like, what was that? Why did it not connect to you? Was it because of the
um
over the shoulder? And it felt more like a linear game than survival horror.
no, no, it was because I just was a fan of the zombie stuff.
Uh huh.
And I just didn't like that it was more of like it turned into more of you going against crazy people versus going against zombies.
Yeah.
So like that really for me is what changed, what made me not like it as much, because I just like I just liked the idea of it being zombies that you were going against. And like when that all kind of changed, I just wasn't a fan of the whole crazy people idea, fact that this virus just turned regular people crazy.
Uh-huh.
Kind of, you know, because I think the thing is that it went from being more of a puzzle solving type of game to just more of like, attacking people. Like the puzzle solving stuff, I feel like just wasn't as good, like wasn't as big of a focus anymore
Yeah.
in four. I don't know a whole lot about five or six because I played a little bit of five, but I never played six. Because I gave five, I was like, well, I'll give it a shot and see if I like it, like this one.
Uh-huh.
And then when I still didn't care for it, I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this franchise. I'll just go back and play the original ones and the ones that I like and stuff instead if I want to play it, again. But then seven came out and I liked the whole idea of it being first person. That really interested me a lot just because I felt like you could get a little bit more immersed into it
Yeah.
because you're seeing, it's like you're seeing through the character's eyes what's happening, and it just seemed much more scary and it looked better and things like that, and then there's a lot of really good puzzle solving in that game. So I really liked that they kind of went back to more puzzle, focusing more on like all these different unique puzzle solving things.
Open this
Um,
goddamn door! I'll get you
and they just it just had a really like I actually enjoyed the setting where you were too. That was another thing. I didn't really care for the setting in four and five. Like I don't know, I just didn't get into it much. Because like I like the whole idea of you being in like a big building, like a big main building, and kind of focusing more on like one, big area versus like a whole town.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think that was the other thing is I just the I really liked seven because it kind of was focusing somewhat on bigger houses and like kind of just moving through like a complex almost.
Yeah.
And it felt more like the originals in that way that it was focused more on one little small town, like a little small section of an area, like a complex or like whatever it was. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like last year or whatever, I had beat four, and like honestly, like it wasn't an awful game. It just really didn't do things as well as I liked it to, and like I feel like I would have preferred that it be less about just shooting a whole bunch of taking on hordes of people and be more about solving problems or puzzles. Like I mean, so, like some of the characters were cool. Like I liked the chainsaw guys and stuff. I thought were cool,
Uh-huh.
Leon Kennedy.
but
There was
it
another
just
Australia I couldn't.
that was about it, for me.
Well, let's so Resident Evil 2 takes place in the actual city of Raccoon City, where the first one took place in a mansion.
Does anyone know what started this?
Yeah,
It while you was in the city, you end up getting transferred to the police station, and then it goes underground, and then it goes to a facility.
Should come here
With
sooner.
that, while two is happening, Resident Evil 3 is happening, which is the Nemesis, and you
Hey,
play
Lieutenant.
Jill
yeah,
Valentine. And that story, both stories are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Where four, starts the whole new trilogy in a sense. Well, not trilogy, but uh, different kind of games, even though the gameplay is the same. Um, so Leon is in, without counting remake, Leon is in actual three games: the Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, and Resident Evil 6. Uh,
I can't
Chris
stop.
Redfield is in uh three three of them too. He's in Resident Evil 1, um Code Veronica, and Resident Evil 6. No, Resident Evil 5. Is he in 6 too? I think he's in 6 also.
Um,
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't know. Again, I didn't really play much of it, so it's been so long since I've played six.
Yeah, it and most of the series has been Chris Redfield has been the main character of the series, and then uh
Yeah,
a combat enemy can only be retrieved once you defeat them. Yeah, I just depleted. Okay.
yeah, like the, and that I think that's one reason why this franchise is done so well too is
Uh
like they just did a really good job of like having kind of a mixture of all different kinds of good characters that like people enjoyed playing as and meeting. And I think that really helped out a lot, that they just did a good job of like building characters for the games, and
yes.
like not overdoing their involvement, kind of having a big variety of characters that are kind of all experiencing this all at the same time or close to the same time. uh and kind of telling the story from all the different sides.
Yes.
Like they've done a really good job of kind of making all the stories like come together and be interesting and make you want to learn more about, like, well, what did this person
Not how I
experience
imagined the
during this
first day.
time? Or and like in this remake, they have some amazing side story stuff that they do as well, that I really liked, because there's certain characters that you kind of come in contact with in the
Uh-huh.
main story, and then you get to actually play some side mission stuff of like of characters that you come in contact with or learn about. Like I feel like, and they kind of did that in seven as well. They had these really cool, like, like add-on stuff that kind of lets you experience other parts of the story in the same game. So like they've really did a good job, like when they redid this game of really putting some more, like I said earlier, just really bringing more attention to some of the details that they didn't really give to you in the original.
Well, yeah, because like I said, the original was like kind of a follow up um to the first game in a sense,
Yeah, yeah,
and not follow up as in
follow up is, and
oh sorry, there was a cutscene I was watching.
oh
It wasn't a follow up to where Chris Redfield uh came back and you played him again.
Yeah.
It was more of this is the next story or next chapter in this game.
Yeah. I'm cheating on my game. I've got the submachine gun and the pistol with unlimited ammo.
Oh shoot, that's the way to play it in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I got the cheat things or whatever. Unlocked all the stuff that you can make the game much more fun. I don't have to worry about bullets. Nice. That's nice not having to worry about ammo. I get that. I don't remember any of these codes. I don't remember. I used to remember all the codes and stuff for all the locks from the last time that I played it. So then on my second playthrough, I could just
Just blast through it. Well, that was one of the things that was so different about Resident Evil. Uh, was that depending on how quick you got through it, uh, you
yeah, and
know,
they still did that in this game as well. If you beat the game in a certain amount of time, then
uh,
you unlock like the unlimited ammunition, weapons, and things like that. I believe is how they set that up, and then also if you beat it in a certain, I think it was like if you beat it with a certain rating or something like that, you get I think you unlock like some of the different modes.
uh,
So yeah, they that was kind of the cool thing is they like that the way that they kind of did that stuff made you want to try to speed run,
yeah,
the speed run the game. They give you incentive to want to do it quickly and stuff like that. So that was the kind of always the cool thing that they did to encourage people to want to play more.
yes. So,
And get
and
good at it.
and most of the game is in darkness, so it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, do nothing with that just yet.
Leon, it's Marvin. I need you back here ASAP.
Are you okay, Marvin?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
Copy that. I'll be right there.
Nice. There we go. On the hip pouch. I can carry more stuff. Yeah, yeah, and like one of the things that was really that's really good about this remake as well compared to the original one is like in the original games it was really easy to get confused and lost and forget which direction you need to go to which places you haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
And it's really cool how they did the whole like when you find the map now, like it kind of will show you which rooms you finished everything in, and which rooms you still need to go to, and which rooms, which doors in those rooms have which ever key that you need, and stuff like that they didn't really do as much in the original games.
The original first one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
Which is weird because this one it makes you conserve your ammo and stuff, so you kind of got to be aware of what you're doing and where you're going and how many bullets you use and stuff. And now because I'm
yeah.
playing on easy, it may be different. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm in the room that when you turn the light on, it plays the original theme song. For the original game. Yeah, and I like how they do the whole, like, where you find boards in this game to board up the windows.
Yeah.
So they can't get through. Yeah, they just did a really good job of, like, the lighting and stuff in this game too is really good. Just the way that things look, it just looks so much more realistic. Yeah, dang it, I don't remember any of these codes for anything. Shoot.
I ran out of ammo. I can't use my dagger because it breaks. Well, I haven't
Yeah.
used it yet, but so
Yeah, man.
I gotta see if I can find some more ammo somewhere.
And I'm just sitting here with unlimited everything. Oh, shoot. We're good. I forget what these codes were.
Hip pouch. Ah, okay. Some skyscraper. So Well, we kind of been going on. Let's touch a little bit about Resident Evil 3. What do you think is that game is going to be about?
I think it's gonna be like the all these like kind of how these games turned out, where it's just gonna be like a better told story, better told story version of the original, three, and I think they might throw in maybe some new mechanic stuff that
Uh-huh.
like maybe try some new ways to make it interesting, because like the remake of the original, was for the most part it was pretty similar to the original. It really didn't try anything different per
Yes.
se, really. But like this one, like they actually did the whole having the character actually constantly following you throughout the entire game once you run into them. And
Uh,
they didn't really do that in the original one. Like there were times where he would follow you and kind of interact with you to further along the story, but but
yes.
they but they actually in this one they actually make him follow you throughout the whole entire rest of the game. And like when you're trying to leave, finish everything at the police station area, you're having to deal with like with him like following you, and you got to try to do things differently and try to plan where you want to go, and how you want to do things to make sure that he's not like right there by you, um and is gonna attack you while you're trying to figure a puzzle out or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I really like that change, because it forces you to like really think about your moves and what you're gonna do.
Yes, that is very, very true. Let's see, Scorpion. But everybody, for you know what, I think for Resident Evil 3, before we close out, I think they are going to pretty much, and people might disagree. I think they're gonna mix first person with this third person mechanic for Resident Evil, because it's just like it's a cool concept with what they got going on. Uh, I just think that they're probably just explore it further uh, with it, and I think and I need to get another gunpowder. I just think that before. I really just think that they're gonna mix those two, and they're gonna make it even creepier. But this time you're just playing as one character instead of two. But everybody, that has been our discussion and our pilot play of Resident Evil 2 remake. Hopefully everybody did enjoy it. Jesse, thank you for coming on and joining me. I know the game is kind of scary and spooky, and it's very dark. That was the one thing they definitely did with this game, that they made it dark, and they did it on purpose. Because if you play the regular
Yeah,
Resident Evil 2, it's not that dark.
yeah, yeah. It has its like darker places
Uh huh.
at times, but yeah, like I do like how much it's much more eerie, and like the flashlight does a really good job of kind of illuminating us wherever it is, and but yet the rest of the room stays dark.
Yes.
They really do a good job with lighting. Like I honestly I think like what really makes the visuals stand out in this remake is the fact that they just really nailed. I feel like they really nailed the lighting. You know,
Yeah,
so
they really did, and I that's why I wonder how what they're gonna do with three. Like, is it going to be darker than this? Are they gonna play around with certain shadows, jump scares, stuff of that nature? Are they gonna do that in this three? Cause
yeah,
now you like in a sense you can't remake four, you can't remake five, you can't remake six. Like all of them don't need remakes. The first three, yeah, they got their remix because they were on an older system, and at
yeah,
that time they didn't really have like a lot of stuff fleshed out and the technology to do it and stuff. But now, like with what they got, it looks like they can, in a sense, um, really bring something to the table. I'm sorry,
yeah,
everybody. I know I haven't solved the puzzle. It's because I'm kind of discussing the game and stuff. But um, I really can't wait to see more from the Resident Evil series. I really can't wait till I start six. I've been trying to play five on easy by myself. But I already beat it, so it's not part of my backlog challenge or anything. But I kind of want to
yeah,
play it with the AI and play it on easy because I like I said I beat the game, but I want to get all those weapons and get my stuff powered up, and then play it like on normal with my powerful weapons and just like blasted the game and stuff. And I
yeah,
think I think that's what I love about Resident Evil is that when you go through it the first time and you revisit it and you know what to do and you get a little bit more powerful weapons, you can breeze through the game and it's not scary anymore in a sense. So.
yeah.
But everybody, that is going to be it for this episode. Once again, thank you, Jesse, for joining me. You guys can check out more of how to play here at Boss Rush Games. You can check us out at bossrushgames.com. Check us out on our Facebook page. Check out our podcast, Boss Rush Podcast, Nintendo Power Block, and Arsenal X. And you can check out more content on our YouTube page. And follow us on Twitter at boss_rush_games. And also join us on our Facebook community group at Boss Rush Games Community Fan group. We do want to know what you guys would love to see us play and podcast over. Uh, because there are tons of games that we would love to play and get your guys' feedback by talking about it. And you can email us at bossrushgamespro.com. With that, everybody, we will see you next time on Pod and Play. Bye, everybody.
Bye.